Hi, Butch Bartolome here from the Fran-Guru Exchange. Lyndah and I would like to welcome you to the show that is every Monday, 6 p.m. You know, Lyndah and I started a business called GMB, Franchise Developers, way back in 1993. Our aim is to help a lot of entrepreneurs to look at franchising, the benefits of how to expand their business, as well as growing their brand. And true enough, we have been successful and blessed to let a lot of entrepreneurs see how franchising works. We have written a book called Is Franchising For You, which won the Book of the Year in 2012, and the third under the profession category in 1983. We also write a column every Saturday over at abscbnnews.com as Business Mentor. The whole purpose is to let people know the goodness of entrepreneurship. So join us every Mondays, 6 p.m. live over cbrc.tv, YouTube, and Facebook. If you have any questions, let us know. Okay, bye-bye. Magandang gabi at good morning, good evening, good afternoon wherever you are. Ito naman po ang tambalang Butz Bartolome together with Lyndah in Fran-Guru Exchange. Alam mo Lyndah, excited ako pag-usapan yung itong part 2 ng Manila Hearing Aid kasi meron tayong sinasabing generation, di ba? Tinatag ng ama na si Dr. Abano. At pinapatakbo naman ngayon ng 4 na anak. Paano kaya ginawa nila ito? So, Lyndah, ano bang preview natin dito sa ating guest ulit, part 2?
Well, good afternoon. Good day na lang. So, everyone, this is Good Day from Fran-Guru Exchange and this is a continuation of what we call the legacy brand. Kasi, if you have a brand and you want to be able to call it a legacy brand, think of it this way. You have a founder who is Dr. Abano and Mrs. Abano, who held on to the torch of Manila Hearing Aid for such a long time, for maybe decades. But for the torch to continue on shining and for the brand to continue on shining, and para maging karapat dapat siyang matawag na legacy brand, it has to withstand the test of time. And the test of time will also mean passing the torch from their generation now to the second generation. And this is ably represented by our guest, Dr. LIZA Abano Robles. Marami din yang first sa hearing field. So we will now call Dr. LIZA Abano Robles. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Miss Lyndah. Hi, Mr. Butz.
Hi, good evening, good day. Good day. Yes.
Thank you so much for the second session and for me to share to everyone how Manila Hearing Aid has continued. So last week, it was about the foundation of Manila Hearing Aid. Now this time, for tonight, we'll be talking about how, my parents, what was their strategy in making us continue this one-of-a-kind business, actually. So, yes, so we'll talk about it tonight.
Yes, that's going to be very interesting. But Lisa, remember the last session we were discussing. It was not just Dr. Abano, but can you tell us also a little bit more about how your mom, actually the role that she played in Manila Hearing Aid?
Yes. So actually, my mom, Mrs. Mabel Abano, she was the one behind the business, like meaning my dad being a doctor, being the pioneer in this industry, being a doctor, he was in charge of responsible for the technical, for the clinical side, because all the know-how which he acquired during his stint in New York, diba? So that's why he put up Manila because he wanted to put up a, setup similar to what he trained in New York. But for the business side, that's a different, of course, it's a different set of skills. And fortunately, you're so lucky that my mom was very good with finance. So she used to work in central bank actually. So the finance side, she took care of it, and that's how. Parang with their tandem, they were able to grow the business and to be what it is now, our standing right now in the hearing health industry. So because of my mother's business know-how. That's how it happened. Not business, finance, HR, handling people, understanding the patients. So there, that's how because of their tandem nga, they were able to grow with, and be what we are right now.
So really the takeaway here is that you have a Dr. Abano who's very technical and who knows exactly what's going on as far as, hearing aids, etc. is concerned. But knowing the technical skills is not complete, and you will not be able to establish a brand unless you have a very good partner who will be able to put the meat to it. And your mom was the one who was able to put the meat into the
Yes.
brand or into the business, the finance, the operations, the HR. Everything was actually uh, the role that was the role of your mom in the business. So if you look at the tandem of your mom and your dad, how was it, how were they able to pass on that tandem to the children?
All right. So we're four siblings. All right. I'm actually the third. So they were able to somehow raise us in such a way that all of us would be working for the business. And of course, for any parent, actually, that's actually a feat. That's what they call in a way part of it was in a way, if you see it like a success for parents, diba? Because imagine the four of us got into the business, and that's not like in diba? Not one of us ventured into a not just non-health but non-hearing non-health industry, but they were able to raise us and made us aware that of the importance of Manila Hearing Aid. Like for example, I'm the third, the eldest one. She did Masters of Business Administration to really look at finance, because really, that backbone, the finance backbone has to be very strong in, like, of course, maintaining the business, growing the business, and so that became my sister's forte. And then the second one, my older brother, he became the ENT, okay, the ear, nose, throat doctor, just like my dad, because
Oh,
we
you
need
follow the footsteps.
yes, because we
Oh,
need the
you
medical
follow.
part, we need the
Yeah.
ENT part, to run also this business. And then me, I'm the third, and I became doctor of audiology, but prior to that, I took right after college, I was sent to Australia to study audiology, took up my postgraduate diploma in audiology, master of audiology, and I came back here, and then while working, I did my doctor of audiology course. So
Oh,
yeah, and then
that
our
means
youngest is speech pathology, but he studies speech pathology. And so he started out first, speech pathology is like dealing with what do you call this, therapy for children who cannot hear or they have some speech challenges. So he
but
started
still related.
Yeah.
They're related. Related. It's a related field,
Related
right?
field, a related discipline. So, and then from there, worked as a speech pathologist. Then eventually he joined the business already with his field, but now he's in charge of the technical aspect, meaning the technical, yung mga post-sale services, technical services like that, repair of hearing aids and the like, the ear mold lab. So that's like the master plan of my parents.
But you
The
it's
four of us.
interesting. Oo. But it's interesting, Linda, no? Para bang, hindi naman sila pinilit, no? I don't think parents force you to say, you have to do this, Lisa, you have to teach that, you have to learn, you have to do that, no? I think it voluntarily emanated from you because of the culture, the environment that your parents set you up.
The exposure.
Yeah, the
Oh,
exposure
exposure.
also, the way they explain things and inspired us to live out basically like what I said. Manila Hearing Aid, they put that up to serve the Filipino hearing impaired community and all that. And it was, I guess, inculcated in us. Now, this is service, of course,
Let's see the milestone, Linda, kasi nakaka-intriga itong milestone. Dr. Lisa, you want to show the milestone of Manila Hearing Aid?
Oo,
Can we?
kasi I want to understand the milestone of Dr. Lisa on the first Filipino certified doctor of audiology.
Correct. Pakita natin yung PowerPoint nga. Ayan.
Next slide, please.
next slide, please.
Oh,
All right.
Ayan. So you tell us about this.
The years on top were like the years I finished. Actually, more of the degree because I took in audiology. I took like 3 degrees. So postgraduate diploma in audiology and master of audiology. So I was the first one to finish the course and to practice here. Okay, practice in the Philippines. Tapos after some years of practice, when because the discipline evolved from everyone like a master of audiology, then abroad the discipline expanded to being a doctorate in audiology. So the degree migrated to that level, doctorate. So all those people who took up masters, they started, in a way, adding on to their credentials, and then they studied doctor of audiology, and I was, that's what I did. So in 2014, I took up the doctor of audiology course under University of Florida. So there when I graduated, of course, here I was at the time. I think until now I still am, as far as I know, the only one with a doctor of audiology here in the Philippines, practicing here in the Philippines with the title. Yeah, and then also shortly after graduating, of course, I applied for the American Board of Audiology certification, international certification. So right now, I am a American Board of Audiology internationally certified also in the Philippines. So I have the title here in the Philippines, being the only one, unless, well, as far as I know, the only one as of now here in the Philippines. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
Amazing.
Amazing. So in terms
grow
of
the knowledge, to grow, because the industry is evolving and you really have to cope up. And the hearing health industry is fast growing already because of that awareness for hearing loss, that it is an invincible handicap, that it's inevitable and it's part of aging. So the awareness is really growing, especially abroad. It's just growing, that it's part of wellness. One of our suppliers main tagline is hearing well hearing is well-being. So
well, hearing is well-being. Cute.
yes. Yeah.
That's
Okay, next
cute.
slide please. Next slide please, unless you have questions, but next slide please.
No, my question kasi, Lisa, is this. If I am a customer and I see Manila Hearing Aid, there is a certain confidence level in the products and the services that Manila Hearing Aid has, because we know that there is somebody or there is a group that really goes through all the products and the services and ensures that these products and services are actually the best that can be offered in the market, considering the kind of discipline that you went through to be able to get your doctorate. Correct?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. We strive to provide a wide range of solutions to meet the needs of the hearing impaired. Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
so in
So, and
2015, 2015, what happened now?
We have partnered. Well, we've been partnering with leading hospitals in the country to provide world class hearing test equipments. And actually, even before, but I think in 2015, it has grown a lot more. Yes, so we've been partnering with different institutions and all that. Next slide, please. Yeah, next slide, please. I think the
Yeah,
next one is 2000,
yeah,
2017.
2017.
Yeah, actually in 2017, Manila brought in a very world famous. Well, he's really a balance kasi it's hearing and balance, and they're connected balance. Balance expert to spearhead the workshop to make sure that hearing and balance care services are accurate, and those who have equipments will be able to use it to its full potential. That's just one of the highlights back then. Um, we were able to bring in this expertise in charge of balance, hearing and balance, actually, because they're connected. Next slide, please. So it's just one of our service offerings also as part of why we offer wide range of hearing solutions. Then in 2020, oops, I think the image is wrong, but in 2020,
Yeah.
all right, due to the pandemic, due to the lockdown, and people, we were just all, quarantined at home, right? We all had to stay at home. And then there was this growing need of our patients to service them, especially because a lot of it is like online, and they were working from home, many things doing at home. um, we also introduced online fitting of hearing aids prior to the pandemic, although we already had this technology, but it wasn't really practiced much prior to the pandemic because people were going to the clinics, we were servicing them face to face. And in 2020, we we were like pushed to, to really enhance this service, and that we were able to do remote fitting of hearing aid, but the gold standard, remote fitting of hearing aids to be able to serve the needs of the patients, all right? Meaning we can adjust the hearing aids remotely by online, all right? But the
it can
gold
be done now.
but the gold standard still is, you go, of course, you still have to go to the clinic to do the hearing test, to um, more of the diagnostic hearing test. There are certain things that need to be done in the clinic, but through this remote technology, we were then able to service the patients. Okay, not, although not the full service, but we were able to otherwise, now if they cannot, nobody could go out back then, and this was one technology that was like, implement, like really pushed, to be implemented. And then in 2021, MHA Academy was formed. Why is this important for us? Although because of the growing needs of the industry, especially the growing needs to serve the hearing impaired, um, um, we needed to come up with a training, a training academy that would serve the this growing need of personnel, to be hearing, good hearing care specialists, not just like the clinical part, but also there are other courses in our academy that would address, proper hearing care. So it's not just the clinical, but there are others pa. So there, because we lack hearing care professionals here. Okay, so far those are the milestones.
So
Milestones.
para bang I think what you're after is really deepening the foundation of Manila Hearing Aid. I mean,
Yes.
imagine mo to form an academy is not a joke. I mean, you're getting probably experienced people to be trained, and getting more people to become part of the Manila Hearing Aid
Yes.
family, di ba?
Yeah, service for them to learn what really is to serve the hearing impaired community. Yeah. So there.
So
Next,
there's really a growing demand, no? There's really a growing
oh yeah,
demand
yeah,
for
yeah,
hearing
growing
aid
demand.
specialists.
It's not just like just the hearing aids, also the hearing test part. Plus, also we have other courses there that would our main trust really is to be able to come up with personal who will that would know what it is really to serve the hearing impaired community. Yeah. Next slide, please. So
Wow.
yes, this
20,
year,
45 years.
yes, 45th year in the industry. So being the pioneer and the leading hearing care, hearing healthcare provider here in the country. So we just celebrated last September our 45th year. And with all our milestones, yes, it has led us to continue being the leader, the innovative leader here in the country. There.
Talagang
Uh,
legacy brand na talaga siya.
yes, yes, yes.
Manila
So
Hearing Aid is really a
with
legacy.
yeah, we've withstood many hurdles, many challenges in the past because of the growing hearing health industry, both globally and locally. And then we also, what do you call this? All the competition coming in, all the, you know, we really strategized. And then because of this, it just led us to be still, to continue to be strong. And that's actually our, mission to continue serving the hearing impaired. And our vision is just to remain the leader. Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
it's
amazing,
really
huh?
served
I mean,
to
45 years.
Yes.
So yeah, sige, next please.
Next slide, please.
Yeah,
There. Next
the big
generation.
four.
four, the
Yes.
That's the
four,
big
the
four. The
four.
four.
Yes. But I'm not the eldest. I'm actually the third. So it's okay. Yeah, like what I said. Although I was this year. I was just appointed the general manager. Um, well, because I do know I'm the one most knowledgeable of the operation side of the different departments, and being because my background in audiology, my extensive background in audiology, and how it the operation side. So they passed me, they granted me this position of general manager. Then my sister Anna, her forte really is finance. She's the finance manager, and of course that is like you need a very very strong foundation in that. Of course, in any business, the finance has to be strong. And of course, my brother, who's the ENT, is a medical doctor, medical consultant for all ENT related, because hearing and ear, and of course, although the discipline is different, audiology is the science of hearing, then ENT is the medical side. Naman. All right.
Mhm.
Then my youngest brother, Jose Ramon, he is the technical services manager. He's a chief service and support officer manager of. So yan yung mga post sales, yung mga repair, ear mold lab, yan. Actually, the three of us, I have Doctor of Audiology, then Anna and Jose, they have the degree of Master of Audiology there.
How
Okay,
do,
So
how do
nice.
you feel now? I mean, imagine mo kayong apat, no? I mean, have you ever looked back at through the years? I mean, 45 years. Have you really looked back at the the giant leap? The giant achievements that you all have done.
um,
Napapag-usapan mo ba itong kayo magkakapatid na imagine mo 45 years?
well, it's definitely grown, and then of course the needs, not just of the industry, the needs of the company itself, have grown, and then of course because of our different backgrounds, and how we should be working together, like to improve our services. Kasi like especially me, I'm in the operation side, and then let's say Jose Ramon, he's in the technical services side. So making sure that our post sales, when hearing aids or equipments are sold, we make sure that it just doesn't stop there. We need to make sure that the post sales is, um, it's it's the support there should be also be very good. And then of course we work together. We all have to work together because on the patient side or the medical side, then of course that's Dr. Abano's expertise, and then all of this, whatever our plans are, they all have to be financially backed up, diba? Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what's
So
good
it's full
about this
circle
is that
talaga.
what's good about this is that parang each one has a particular department that will be
yes,
handled, correct? So that it's also one of the ways by which the second generation really comes into a business and na walang nag-aaway, walang nag-argument because each one of you have different departments to deal with. And no one
yes,
is top of the other, no one is boss to someone else. Each one really has his own
yes, yes.
kingdom, so to speak, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Pero
of course,
before,
just like any siblings, relationship, there are arguments too. But at the end of the day, we have to work together. We have to work together to just continue the business. If the vision of the company is to continue being the leader, then of course we just have to look at that, and we have to work together. But we have excellent people under us. So
yeah,
we have our the leaders, the managers, and they're also excellent. And you know we provide guidance. We guide each other. Just us, and then of course all the people. Our managers. We guide each other, and then and we just have one goal, and that's the vision, just to be the leader. To continue being the leader. Yeah.
pero maganda, no? Magaling yung ano, no? The parents, I think they really plan for four, no? Apat na siblings.
Kanya-kanya talaga sila ano area.
May kanya-kanya talaga sila, no? Kalagay ko. And
Talking about
I'm
talking,
sure, yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure,
talking about
yeah, Linda, go ahead.
talking about the parents. What now that you're the ones managing Manila Hearing Aid, what is the role? Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yeah, next slide.
This is Dr.
Oh,
Panyo.
yes, yes. He's no longer active. He's in his retirement years, and he just continues his advocacy of helping the Philippine hearing impaired. He did the video last December, a year ago, and it was just like passing on the message only, not just to us children, but also to the whole Manila Hearing Aid family. He emphasized there that when you're in Manila Hearing Aid, when you're a part of the Manila Hearing Aid family, there's only one vision. Well, that is to continue leadership, but also one mission, that is, keep the hearing impaired people in mind. With whatever you do, keep it in mind. Um, um,
Yeah, that's
then
correct.
of course from there, yung parang always serve, and that's always think of what they need. So that's his message, to the Manila Hearing Aid family. Yeah. Service to
Ano,
the
no? Ang
hearing
ganda.
impaired.
Oo. I wonder when he sees now you are all running it. I'm sure he's so happy that he has passed on the baton to you, no?
Yes. Of course, he's retired now. So at least he was able to fulfill. And for him, for the Manila Hearing Aid family to live that care for the Filipino hearing impaired, then that's really his success. In fact, here it's written here, some time ago, the community coined the title for him as the father of hearing care in the Philippines. He was called the father.
Wow.
Because in the industry, you see Dr. Abano, he's known as the founder. He was the one kasi naman talaga who started the whole industry.
Yeah, who started? Can you imagine 45 years ago?
Mm-mm.
He has really done a big contribution to the country. Imagine mo kung hindi niya pala binalikan ng Pilipinas at he stayed in the US. But because of his love for his father, he came back wanting to help the father of his hearing impairment. No? But that started it all. I think, imagine mo kung wala tayong ganitong Dr. Abano. Paano na kaya? Panay palagay ko, nag-aaway-away ang mga pamilya. Ano ka mo? Ano ka mo?
Yeah,
Sisigawan lahat.
Stress,
yeah.
you know?
One thing that I learned from my mother, but in relation to this also, is that our business, we're not really when somebody comes into the clinic, that person has some challenges. Kasi we're not naman, we're not, you don't come in Manila to go window shopping. In fact,
That's correct.
we're
That's
not,
right.
our product really, it's not one of those desirable products na you one day you just wake up and say, I want to buy a hearing aid. It's not like that. It's like you have a need, you just can't communicate, you have that need and all that. And so my mother would tell our staff before that when somebody comes into the clinic, that person needs something, has some challenge, has a problem. So you as a clinic staff, you you have to be patient. You have to hear them out. You have to listen. You have to feel their emotions because it
Yeah,
really
don't
is.
don't
There's
duplicate what they're doing in the house, nila. Kasi sa bahay ngayon, hindi nagkakarinig. Pagdating ba sa clinic, ano ka mo ninyo? Nagkakaloko-loko na. So maganda yung customer rapport, no, Lyndah? So,
Yeah.
okay, we're in the last 5 minutes of our time and really, my God, it's so heartening to
Oo,
know this
parang ang
45-year
si
legacy. Okay. I wonder pag nag-golden years na kaya. 5 more years to go, di ba? I mean, ano kaya ang plano ngayon?
Well, right now, we did start already with Academy, hoping that this Academy will produce hearing care specialists and other that will really serve the need of the hearing impaired, not just of Manila Hearing Aid, but like the whole those who are in need. And we're actually going into franchising already of of the clinics, so that
Yeah,
to
after
really
45 years, yes. It's high
yes.
time that you get into franchising, Lisa.
Yes.
But anyway, to wrap this all up, as a legacy brand, we can go to the next slide. As a legacy brand, I think you've really stuck to your brand promise. And this is what you're known for in the market, correct?
Yes, yes. Um, yes, our brand promise is throughout the years, because of the foundation of Dr. Abano, and that this, we say that the foundation of this company is the Filipino hearing impaired, because that's why he found this company, because he wanted to put up a hearing center of where he trained abroad and bring it here. And because of the nature of hearing loss and its effect on the individual and on the family, you have to like practice this heartfelt hearing care. You have to really feel their emotions and really understand why they just more than just needing a hearing aid. They need to be able to communicate, to bridge that, to connect the relationship again. And then, of course, we remain loyal to our legacy. That's our second brand promise. We should never forget that the Filipino Impaired is the foundation of the company, that we serve the needs of these of the community. And so we make sure that we provide, wide range solutions for hearing care. And so that is why our tagline is Here Life Special Moments. If we are to live out these brand key points, and our goal is for the hearing impaired Filipino to hear life special moments without without any hurdles, arguments, to bridge that relationship and just enjoy, live the life special moment.
And I think there will be a lot of Filipinos or a lot of people that will be interested to be able to tell themselves also, I am part of this crusade of letting people hear life special moments. So if you're interested, get in touch with Doc Lisa. I think they're now open to franchising Manila Hearing Aid and be part of a legacy brand. The legacy brand that Dr. Abano started with 45 years ago, and that the children are continuing managing the brand. And now it is really a legacy brand. So at the end of the day, one of the no, actually, the most critical criteria in franchising is really sustainability of the brand. So I think there's no question about that. Correct, Doc Lisa? So maybe you can give us your final message to people that are listening in to us.
Yes. Like what I said, Manila Hearing Aid started and was founded by Dr. Abano because of his desire. Well, not only to improve the hearing of my grandfather, but really his desire to be able to serve the Philippine hearing impaired. And well, like what I said, our brand key points, and we continue this legacy in the Manila Hearing Aid family. That in whatever we do, the patient hearing care is top of mind. And for everybody in the audience, well, thank you very much for listening. And this is a one of a kind, industry business, and I hope that you learned something from him.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your valuable time, Doc Lisa. It's very seldom that it's very, very seldom. In fact, this is the first time I think that we've interviewed a brand that has been in existence for 45 years. And that it's always fulfilling and a source of joy to interview not just the founder, but the second generation that hopefully will pass on to the third generation. So thank you very much, Doc Lisa, for your time. And
Thank you, Mr. Butz, and thank you to everyone who listened.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So we end
Yan,
the
Lyndah.
legacy brand 2 series on the legacy brand, which is Manila Hearing Aid. So we hope that it has encouraged entrepreneurs to be able to start a business, because you have businesses that last for 45 years like Manila Hearing Aid. It's really just a commitment and a passion to serve. That's Manila Hearing Aid, a passion to serve the hearing impaired. Okay.
Sige. So, thank you very much for watching. And again, next time we'll feature more legacy brands upcoming. So, Lyndah, thank you very much. And bye-bye
Thank you
to
very
everybody.
much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching Fran-Guru Exchange. Watch out for more episodes as we bring to you a lot of exciting information. Only here at Fran-Guru Exchange. And thank you to CBRC.tv.